Thuolo ni wadhi achiel kachiel kama okinde mag Law Society of Kenya chiwo twak ewi weche mosebedo katimore e pacho ka motudore gi nek ma kinde ka kinde.
Voice and platform as the Law Society of Kenya to raise concerns with those issues, be it not only at the local arena but in the international arena, so that we ensure members of the public get their day in court and also justice. We continue to watch briefs. Certain matters take longer, and that's why you see we keep pushing with not only IPOA, and that was even the aim of having an MOU, so that we can offer the support. Instead of just talking at them, we have even offered to work with them to ensure they facilitate and fast-track these processes. We've been coordinating with families, particularly those who feel they don't trust IPOA, that they come through LSK, and we stand with them as they give their statements and also seek ways that witness protection can be granted to them. And so to that extent, as LSK, will continue to offer all the support that we can.
What are you going to do? Because the court order that all the field officers managing the protesters must be identified. And the same way they order the protesters to not firing and to declare the weapons. You look at the part of the protesters, they are already declared weapons, they are declared flags and guns. But in the they're doing weapons, and the police, so many police, you and I work so many policies, just come and what are you going to do with these police officers to make sure they don't show because you're not only the one who is the but quite a number of them
who are all covered.
What are you doing?
You want to say something?
Honorable Justice Momuye Bahati issued orders that police officers are not supposed to cover their faces. That decision was circulated to the public. As a matter of fact, the leadership of the National Police Service and the Inspector General Police are aware that the court ordered that no police officer should come to the street covering their faces or using any means to cover their identity. The court also directed that they must identify themselves, indicate to the protesters or the people in the streets why they are arresting them. But what we saw yesterday and what we have been seeing throughout the demonstrations, the Inspector General Police has not given directions to his officers to ensure that they comply with the court orders. As the Law Society of Kenya, we intend to go back to court and institute contempt proceedings against the Inspector General Police, against the Cabinet Secretary, the Ministry of Interior, for deliberately violating decisions that have already been made by the court and for being in contempt of that decision. And so we are not going to let it lie as the Law Society of Kenya. We will ensure that we follow the proper channels through the court process to have them being declared to be in contempt of court.
So with, yes.
What are the mechanisms that are in place to hold police accountable for acts of brutality? Especially, let me give an example. Last year, I was still in school. I was reading first. A police officer thrown tear gas to a student for teacher. The student was called Trevor. When we started pursuing this as student leaders, they said, IPOA gave a report that we have to submit the form that was used to capture that. And up to now, nothing has been done.
Come and take your statements and pick whatever relevant evidence for them to prepare the case and submit the same before the Director of Public Prosecution. And if he feels that the evidence is not adequate, he should raise the same and give directions as to what needs to be done to ensure that that is more watertight. The challenge we're having with IPOA, as much as they're complaining that they have inadequate resources, is the question of how many even cases, irrespective of the challenges they're having, have they done to fruition or completion. And that is why, as the Law Society, we took that initiative to sign an MOU with them to also work with them to support where they feel that they are challenged, but secondly also to hold them accountable, that we're able to push and insist we want feedback and follow-ups on the cases that they're handling, because I agree with you that IPOA has been very slow and sluggish in terms of actually doing much. Even if you see the report that was handed over by the previous commission, it was, I would say, a very unimpressive report that was issued with regards to what actually the IPOA had done. And that's why we are not relenting in the pressure on IPOA, because there are several cases from last year that have not been investigated to fruition. Even now, we continue to raise the lapses that we see in terms of the investigation, the people they are not calling, the people they are not reaching out to investigate the case of Albert. We are yet to see the statement that they have issued with regards to the killings yesterday. We have just gotten a statement from the IG of police saying that he's been arrested. But in terms of IPOA saying they have since come in, they have followed up, they have even the extent of trying to meet the persons that were around and even getting information or evidence or seeking for those who recorded the same, nothing has still been done. And so those are areas that we will continue to raise and challenge them, because I agree with you, IPOA has really failed Kenyans in terms of the work that they ought to be doing.
Last with regard to, you said you will pursue the court order to be enforced by the police covering the cases.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, what's the advice to the public, the protesters? How to say can you take this police or who are coming as a goons, or what's the advice?
You know, if you're not dressed in police uniform and you have not identified yourself, you cannot be a police officer. We expect officers, the police officers, to be fully dressed and to be able to identify themselves, because we've had situations of people even buying uniforms and feigning to be police officers. So my plea to members of the public is protect yourself, go live if you must, take photos, record, because without that we wouldn't have captured the untimely death of the hawker that was photoed, as well as the many other deaths and the injuries that we have since seen from the different photos that we are collating. We wouldn't have seen the goons that were working hand in hand with the police if not for these members of the public. Say the internet never forgets, and so ensure that you go live, protect yourself, work in groups, and our hotlines are there and available. Reach out, call, so that the first important person is you and your life, and then we will continue to crack down on those who refuse to obey court orders.